Pick 'em pop, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot, dog lock, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them home, let's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pod from MMA takes. Yeah, let's get it going.
Whoa! Welcome to the show. It's been a while. Feels like it's been a while since it's been me and you guys and recorded. I'm going live and I'm doing things, and it's been a while, and I had to cancel a couple weeks ago. But god damn it, we're here, baby. And we have a thin card, I should say, for this weekend at the Apex, back at the Apex. Thin card this weekend, Tyson Fury versus Unsk, however you say his name, Saturday during the day, whenever it is. It's in Saudi. I don't know what time it is. PFL tomorrow night. Patchy Mix is fighting, so that's good. Good little MMA weekend. Next weekend, the 25th, we're off. And then we get the UFC 302, which I'm excited about because they got the new gloves. I'm really excited about the new gloves. I don't know why. I'm a dork. I like it. It's a change of a sport that, we've been wanting. So I'm very excited about the new gloves. And 302 is actually a pretty good card. But we're here. We're talking about this card. For all you orangutans, all you little chatterbox that hate when I talk in the beginning and I don't get right to the fight. It's been 20 seconds. Pick a fight. Fuck off, okay? I'll put a timestamp on. You can skip to the first fight, you fucking gorilla. All right. We got some things to talk about. First and foremost, thank you to Evan Longoria last week coming on. Guys, I name drop him all the time. I told you I was friends with him. He wanted to come on. He was like, hey, let's do it. I've never asked John to come on or Kenny to come on. I really don't want to try to capitalize off their names because they've given me a great opportunity. And the same thing with Evan, who is obviously a class of his own when it comes to baseball and, famous and all that stuff, but he knows his shit. He wanted to come on. I didn't want to use him to promote my stuff and get a cheap, couple thousand views or whatever. My buddy at work accused me of putting more ads on the YouTube video with Evan than normal. I just hit the monetize button, bitch. Let me get my pennies, man. Let me get my pennies. But thank you to Evan Longoria. Super cool guy. Ever since I met him, we were texting a little bit because he's a fan of the Anakin Florian, and somehow he liked me. Believe it or not, he's like, this dude's pretty cool. So we started texting, and then obviously I got the bat over my shoulder. He treated my family and I to the Reds Diamondbacks game last year, and I met him. It's a super nice guy, and ever since then we've been just texting all MMA. Him and his buddy Adam Lands, who I follow. We follow each other on Instagram, and him and I've DM'd him on Instagram. Super cool guy. Really need to bro out with them. We need to see a fight soon together. That would be a blast. But yeah, Evan came on and killed it, dude. He fucking killed it. I'm going to have him on more for sure. He wants to come on and do it again and again and again and again. And I'm down for it because, the chemistry is only going to build better. He knows what he's talking about. We both had an awful night. Awful night. He beat me, though, in the competition. I went 3-9 on my picks. I almost threw up saying that. Excuse me. 3-9 on my picks. Horrible. Lost the slime ball. Lost the green hammer. What did I do on my locks? I think I did okay on my locks, right? Mortal lock was send him home, miss Terrence McKinney. Mortal lock was Sean Woodson, barely squeaked that out. Some people thought Caceres won. And then my dog lock was no Sultan Rozaboyev. So I went 1 for 3 on my locks. Pathetic. But yeah, 3-9 on my picks. Absolutely disgraceful. There's no part in that. I'm on a little bit of a cold streak now. The slime ball has been inconsistent. The green hammer's been fucking dead. It's a dead doll loser every single week. But we're going to try to fix that. We're going to try to fix that with this card right motherfucking here. And one other thing. I didn't want to bring it up because I just name dropped Evan Longoria, right? Who's a great guy. I just wanted to thank him for coming on. But yesterday we did a live for the Anakin Florian, and the great Laura Senko was on. And unprompted from John or Kenny, she shouted me out saying I have a really great voice and energy and just complimented me from the clouds. We follow each other on Instagram. I don't know her. I've never met her. I DM'd her, thanking her. She responded and just basically doubled down and said she loves my voice. Now, that's a huge compliment, right? Because Laura Senko, I like her, right? She's a beautiful woman, but even more than that, what she's doing for female in this sport, in that space, is incredible. And she's very, very good. I mean, listen, there's not many other commentators I'd rather hear over her. I can tell you that. There's two right now that I don't ever want to hear again, at least together, right? Won't name names, but that was super cool. I'm sitting in the back. If you guys know how StreamYard works, I'm in the back. No one can see me. I rush home from work. The live was at 11. My slated slot was from 11:50. I'm rushed home from work, changed my clothes. I'm sweating. Haven't eaten anything all morning. I grab a drink and I grab some chips. I was like, I got to go, not on an empty stomach. I got to have some energy. So I'm sitting there scarfing chips down, baked Lay's barbecue, which are one of my favorite chips. Scarfing chips down, drinking, prepping, making sure my picks are right. And Laura Sanko drops that on me, and I'm sitting there with a mouthful of food. Like, oh. But my question is, well, first off, thank you, Laura, for the kind words. Secondly, no one ever from the chat, from the comments, says that they like my voice. What's up, guys? I accused my friends of the same thing. I said, hey, you never commented on my voice before. I said the same thing to my wife. What the fuck, guys? I got a great voice. Nah, I don't know what that was. That was bad, right? That was bad. All right, let's get to some fights. First fight of the night. It's not the first fight of the night, but it got added late. So we're going to do it first because I had to write it down instead of printing more paper. Yes, I'm an earth guy, okay? I like to save some trees. Not really. Omar C, 9-0 versus Tuco Tacos. Don't know if you say that, if that's how you say his name. Omar C was a minus 500 favorite. Let me see if they've updated these lines at all. It's going to be wide on the C side. DraftKings does not have it. Let's go to the old reliable best bets. What was it? I haven't been there in a while. Fight odds. Is that what it is? Yeah, there it is. All right. Yeah, so Omar C versus Tuco. Yeah, so minus 500 on BetMGM, minus 450 on Caesars. You can get him as low as minus 435 and as high as minus 520 on FanDuel. So yeah, I mean the guy's a big favorite, and he should be. I'm taking C here. He's undefeated. He's good on the ground. He's a mountain of a man, right? I believe he's from France, Bulgarian top team. So he's probably got if so he's fighting out of Paris, France, which I love saying Paris, France, and he's fighting out a Bulgarian top team. One thing I know about Bulgaria is they got good wrestlers. So imagine he's got some good grappling. It looks like he has some pretty good grappling. He's got a lot of submissions on his record. He's got a lot of ground game. But the line's big. I get it. Listen, I'm coming off a horrible week last week, so I need some winners. He's fighting Tuco Tacos, Taco Tuesday. Listen, this guy stinks. I mean, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try to be a nice guy. This guy stinks, right? So he has what is his record? It is 10-3. Padded as fuck. He had a shot in the UFC, kind of, with Road to the UFC, got knocked out by Ming Yang Zhang, who, okay, that's not a horrible loss. Ming Yang Zhang's been around for a while, whatever. He's rattled off 3 wins since then to get the call back up. He beat Myron Dennis, who's 19-10, arm injury. Couldn't even finish him. The guy hurt his fucking arm, probably punched him in the goddamn head. Then he beat Brian Jackson. He's disgracing the Brian name. Spells it with an I, too. The cool way to spell it. Who's 1-7. Knocked him out in the first round and took Gabriel Thimoto to a decision, who's 3-2. This guy just stinks. He's got wins over Ty Flores, who, 8 win over Ty Flores, which got him to the Road to the UFC. Kind of a name that's been out there, but he's been knocked out before twice. It's also a decision to a guy that's just not good. Listen, load up on C by submission. I think that's how you play it. I don't have a prop for that. C by submission, maybe even a TKO on the ground is what I see happening. But yeah, Tuco Tacos is not good. So give me a Marcy. All right, listen. I'm always honest with you guys. Honest Brian. Honest Abe Lincoln, Honest Brian. I have the Podcast Juice shirt. I went on these airways. I told you I was done drinking Mountain Dew, right? I'm done drinking. I went about 2 months. 2 months. Well, maybe a little over 2 months. For the past 3 weeks, I've been back on it. Again, I'm sorry. I'm a failure. Had some rough mornings. Had some late nights. My little girl scratched her cornea. She gets really bad allergic reactions to bug bites or taking in the fucking emergency. Anyway, I'm back on the Dew, and I'm sorry. I apologize for all those kids I let down. I'm back on the Mountain Dew stuff. I am working out a little bit. I do sweat a lot at work, so I am actually down a little bit of weight. I'd be down a hell lot more if I got off the Mountain Dew, but the podcast juice is flowing through my veins. It's probably why my voice sounds so fucking good. And I'm just on fire right now, right? 3-9 on my picks last week, by the way. That's me on fire. All right, next up, I cannot pronounce this lady's name. Heidi has sent me her file a million times. And do I still have that file? Vanessa Demo something. Why can't I pronounce his fucking name? Versus Emily Ducote. Emily Ducote minus 340. Vanessa plus 270. Let me see if Heidi, because Heidi listened to this and said, brother, like that is, I don't have it. Damn. So she gave me let's just listen to this one though. Okay. This is not different, but this is going to scare me the shit out of me.
My name is 敖日其愣, Mongolian murderer. My name is 敖日其愣, Mongolian murderer.
Woo. Okay, so so Vanessa Demo is what I'm gonna go with because I can't say her fucking name. She's your average fighter. She's getting by in the UFC, right? You know, she's not like this world beater or whatever. She's won 3 in a row, lost one, then won her last one over decent, okay competition. I mean, I guess her best win would be Silva Gomez Juarez. She subbed her. That was her only finish in the UFC. You know, she's also J.J. Alvarez, Corey McKenna, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Karolina outvolumed her. Her last time out against Kanata Murata, I think maybe she could have maybe lost. She got taken down 5 times, only landed 31 strikes. That's kind of a weird win there for her. But she's going against Emily Ducote, who I just don't know if she's UFC quality, right? Beat Jessica Penne, who is on the older side of things, right? Lost Angela Hill, lost to Lupi Gonez, competitive against Lupi, no shame there. Beat Ashley Yoder. Ashley Yoder can't get a win in the UFC, but she is durable. She is tough. I guess I'm going to take Ducote. I didn't have anything written down here because I guess I'm ill prepared. But I'll take Ducote, the younger fighter, the more volume-based fighter, over Vanessa. But Vanessa finds a way to wins these fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if she wins that. But I'm gonna go Ducote. Not a lot of money on it. I like to kick the night off with dancing with some plus money. But Emily Ducote, not gonna put her in a parlay and like that. Again, your boy not knowing chicks lately is killing me. Even though I thought Tisha Pennington won last week. Go fuck yourself, huh? Go fuck yourself. So now we got Alec Tong. Oh, hold on. How do you say this guy's name? Alec Tong Healy, who's the Mongolian Knight. So not as scary as a Mongolian murderer, but still pretty good. He is plus 124 versus Clayton Rodriguez. We all know Clayton Rodriguez. This line flipped it all, so it's gone up a little bit. Clayton is minus 155. Hailey is plus 130. So kind of the same what I got him. You can probably get him anywhere. I like Alec Tong Hailey. I'm going to go Hailey Alaton because that's how they separated here on DraftKings as opposed to how I have it on my paper. I'm going to go Hailey. Clayton's been a little bit of a disappointment. I keep thinking he's like this young Brazilian that's just going to catch on. He's 28. Yeah, he's young, but not young enough. He hasn't really looked great in the UFC. Hailey is a guy that's hard to put away. He's got power, decent cardio. He's good to be out there for a scrap. Clayton Rodriguez, this dude, I don't really know what kind of fighter he wants to be. Does he want to stand up? Does he want to take you down? His stats are kind of all over the place from fight to fight. I think he has an identity crisis in there. Him being a favorite, I think because there's some upside with him. I do think there is some skills there. There are some talent. He comes from a good camp. People have highlighted him as good talent, but I just haven't seen it yet. So give me Hailey as the first dog of the night here. I'm going to sprinkle this a little bit, but nothing crazy. Early in the night, I don't want to go crazy. Quick story time after we get this. I know people should have done this at the beginning, but we got to talk about it. So last week was one of my biggest losses ever. I don't like talking money with, so my units are $100. They haven't gone up. They're still $100. People laugh at that. People don't think I'm a real gambler because my unit's only $100, but they are. Sometimes I play half units, quarter, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, last week was having a rough night, live betting, right? Just trying to hit some bets live or whatever the case. And I had $1,118.37. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I gamble, I like to keep even numbers. So I'll make a bet. Instead of $100, I'll go 118 cents or whatever it is. So I can keep, if I win, it's even. If not, we're whatever. So I was losing. Right. I was losing last week. I was winning a couple little fucking, little pennies here and there, but I was losing. Full tilt, right? They use that in poker when you're emotional and then you go all in on a hand. That's what I did. And the one thing I say, I'm not the best gambler in the world. Obviously, I'm not a professional gambler. I'll never sell my picks. Yeah. You've been through that with me before. But I'm pretty good at money management. My DK count has always been pretty full, even on a bad week. I know when to rein it in. I know when to push. I've done that really well. Taking money out. I mean, I've made a lot of money gambling. I mean, I've lost money too, but I've made some money and I bought some things for the house. I bought the couch, a ton of stuff. Most of this equipment in here is from the gambling, right? Anyway, Roundbecky steps up against Diego Ferreira. I was so all over Roundbecky. I thought this dude was going to murder Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira, 39 years old, has a tendency to gas at times, has been finished before. He's been knocked out. Yeah, he's good on the ground, but he's getting knocked out. So I was losing, and I had $900 even. $900, and I put it all on Roundbecky, who was like minus 455 or something when I got him. And my DK account hit zero. I didn't reload up on Saturday night. I had a couple other bets placed, like Ruzaboyev by knockout, didn't hit. Derek Lewis knockout round 1, didn't hit. So I had a chance to maybe get money in my account, but I didn't. My DK account hit zero. First time in probably, goddamn, a couple years, 2 years maybe, and maybe I'm forgetting something, but yeah. So money management is very important, young men, and I blew it. I blew it. I blew $900 on Roundbecky, and he can't see for a long time. His eyes got fucked up. Great performance by Diego Ferreira. There's rarely times where I load up like that, and I've gotten lucky in the past, but man, I really thought Roundbecky was going to piece him up. What are we going to do? All right, next up, you got Pierre Rodriguez, minus 225 versus Areen, I think it's Areen, right? I don't know. Carnelossi, plus 185. Carnelossi is just jacked. We're pulling the green hammer out. I know. Usually I get excited and I flex it and I do all this cool stuff with it. I can't lie to you guys. It's not been hitting, so I'm a little just not really super excited about it. I went back to like what wins and I think I'm just, I'm trying not to get in my head about losing all my money. I'm trying not to get in my head about going 3-9 last week. Trying not to get in my head about it. But Areen, however you say it, Carnelossi, jack to the tits, literally, right? Gets drug tested all the time. Hasn't fought in a while. Pushes her punches, but she's strong in there. I think Pierre Rodriguez shouldn't be the favorite in this fight. And if she is, she shouldn't be this big of a favorite. I don't think she's all that talented, if I'm being completely honest with you. So my pick is Carnelossi. That is my pick. I will be putting money on the money line for sure. But the green hammer is Carnelossi, plus 3.5 point spread, minus 140. I feel like historically I have not been good on point spreads. I feel like I've been a dead dog loser on them. But I think this one's going to hit. Plus 3. I think Carnelossi's going to win the fight outright. I do. And at the very least, he's going to win a fucking round, right? So maybe I'll lay off the money line. Maybe I'll just play this because I don't want to kind of like bet against myself or whatever and wash myself out. But I like Carnelossi. Green hammer. Carnelossi, she's actually moved earlier this week as well. Plus 3.5, minus 140. Book it, bank it, send it. All right. That was a really low energy green hammer, and I apologize. All right, next up, Tamir's Vidal, plus 270 versus Melissa Gatto, minus 340. Melissa Gatto's a female that when her name gets brought up, I feel like she's done really good things in the UFC, right? I'm like, oh yeah, she's great. And then it's like, I forget that she's just okay. I mean, she's got, Ariane De Silva was her last time out, back in almost a year ago in July. She lost a split decision, very close fight. I thought she won. She got taken out one time, which again was bullshit. Tracy Cortez, she lost her Tracy Cortez fight, got outworked in that fight, but did take Tracy Cortez down. She's a bigger girl for the weight class. I mean, she's 5'5", but she's pretty stout for this weight class. Beat up Sarge, knocked her out. which is wonderful. And then Victoria Leonardo, KO. And so maybe that's why I think she's good as she is. She came in the UFC hot with 2 KO wins and has dropped 2 fights. Either way, Vidal is this little tiny piston. That's what I call her, piston of a girl. She beat the piss out of Ramona Pascal, knocked her out in round 1, flying knee, knocked her all over the cage. Ramona Pascal had no business being in the UFC. I'm talking no business. Then she lost a split decision to Monistat Rendon. Got taken down 3 times, got outstruck. It is what it is. I think I like Gatto here. Gatto's a big number for someone that's been a little inconsistent, almost off for a year. But I like Gatto. I like Gatto. Minus 340 is a tough number for me to climb to. You could probably throw in her parlay if you really are confident, but I'm not going to quite get there with her. I'm going to pick her. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right, next up, Abus Magomedov, minus 285. Now down to minus 270. So it looks like Warlley Alvarez has got some backers here. Plus 230, plus 220 for Warlley Alvarez. I looked up Warlley Alvarez. This shocked me. I wish I had a camera on me. I looked up Warlley Alvarez, right? Looked him up, and I go, okay, this guy was on, I think, the first season of Brazil Tough, right? It's been around forever, right? When did he debut in the UFC? When did he debut? Okay, the Ultimate Fighter was back in 2014, 10 years ago. I go, all right, so let me cap this fight. I don't really love either guy. They're both inconsistent, but I'm like, Warlley Alvarez has to be like 40 or 38, my age, right? Motherfucker's 33. That blew my fucking mind. Not necessarily that he looks that old or anything. I mean, he doesn't look 33 in my opinion, but the fact that he's been in the UFC since 2014, he's 33 years old. I mean, he can win. He can play spoiler any fucking time, but you know, he's on a 3-fight skid here. Jeremy Wells got him out of there, knockout. Ikram Aleskov got him out there, which is no big deal. Ikram is a tough dude. Lost a split to Nicholas Darby. His last win was against Munir Lazez as a big underdog. He's a pretty good sized underdog here against Abus Magomedov, who's been in there with a lot of high level guys on a 2-fight losing streak himself against Sean Strickland. He got knocked out, and then a really lifeless decision loss to Kai Borello. I can't trust Warlley as an underdog in this card as slim pickings. So I'm going to go Abus Magomedov here, and I'm going to slime him. I hate sliming him. I do, but I just think he's got long-range weapons. I think he's powerful, and I think he's good on the ground to avoid enough submissions of Alvarez, who does have a good choke. Ask Colby Covington. He's got Colby Covington's fucking neck on his mantle. Alvarez though is wild. Like he throws big punches, and if it connects, you're fucking lights out, right? Dude's got some power, so Abus has got to be careful with that. I don't love his cardio. I'm talking myself out of it, but I'm gonna go Abus. Slime ball parlay, candidate number 1. And I'm gonna play him by knockout as well, which I think is actually really low on DraftKings. I think that is probably the favorite bet from me. Yeah, Abus by KO is minus 110, so people are steaming that quite well, which makes sense because that's how I see it going as well. So give me a boost. Next up, Victor Martinez plus 370 versus Tom Nolan. Minus 485 for Tommy Nolan. All right. So I'm a changed man. I used to, when people would burn me, fighters would burn me, they'd be in the graveyard. I wouldn't bet him for years. Jimmy Crute, perfect example. You've been with me for a while. You know me and the Brute had some problems. Tommy Nolan comes in from Australia, right? Australia. Comes on the Contender Series. Looks phenomenal. Knocks out 11-1 dude in the first round. All his fights, his 3 fights prior to that were knockouts. 6'3" for the weight class. Australia's got some talent. We're cheering him. Huge favorite over Nicholas Mota. And he gets slept in round 1. Looks like he has no defense, which he doesn't. And just didn't know how to deal with a dude in Nicholas Mota who, listen, shout out Nicholas Mota, but he's not the most high-level guy in the world. The UFC was kind of easing him in, right? And they're doing him a favor here with Victor Martinez as well. I mean, Tom Nolan is a minus 485 favorite. Have we moved at all on that? Yeah, he's still minus 485. Against Victor Martinez, who, again, he's 5'8", he's 32 years old, got knocked out by Jordan Levitt. You know, ooh, that hurts me. He lost to Eric Gonzalez by split decision outside the UFC. The guy has a lot of his wins by decision. His best, the guys that he has wins over, you look at the record, they haven't really won since they fought him. He has a win over Jacob Rosales in the Contender Series, decision win. I guess either he got a contract, I don't remember, or they called him up to fight Levitt. He gets knocked out by Levitt in round 1 over a year ago in February. It was February 2023. So it's been a while since he's been out. We're supposed to fight Trevor Peek. Good thing he didn't, because Trevor's Peek goatee would have knocked that dude out before the fight even started. I'm going Tom Nolan here. I know in the past I've put guys in the graveyard who've burned me. Tom Nolan burned me. Forgive and forget. He's a giant number. But I believe in him. And I'm sliming him up. That's how much of a change man I am. I'm putting slime. And I need to slime every week. We all do, right? But I need it because I'm on fucking E, bro. I'm on 0 on DraftKings. So I need the slime more than ever. I need to get bop, right? I need, so I need it. And the slime ball is very chalky, but Tom Nolan's going to be in it. I like Tom Nolan probably by knockout, which let me chase that number for you boys as well. Probably not great, honestly. It's probably Tom Nolan by KO, minus 225. God, Vegas is getting good. A couple years ago, like 5 years ago, that number would have not been minus 225. It would not have been. You could probably get a better number somewhere else. I tell you right now, look you dead in your fucking face. That number would have been a plus number 5 years ago, because MMA betting has gotten really sharp lately. All right, next up, Angela Hill, minus 135 versus Luna Pinheiro. Hill has gone up to minus 160. What draft? That's Tapology. I don't know if that's true. Has she gone up that minus 135? Where's Tapology getting their lines saying she's minus 160? So yeah, Angela Hill on DK, minus 135 versus Luna Pinheiro, plus 114. We did these picks on Kenny or Anik and Florian, excuse me. So if I repeat myself, I apologize. Some guy, by the way, hang on a second. Some guy commented on one of my videos, and he goes, "Hey man, I come for Brian Petrie. I don't come for the guy on Anik and Florian podcast. I don't come for the guy that talks about Dog or Pass podcast, because I've referenced Dog or Pass, Cody Safick, a few times." And I'm like, wait a second. Like, first off, I don't listen to Dog or Pass until I do my show, so I don't copy and I sound like them. And I am the guy from Anik and Florian. I can't not be someone else. I didn't understand the critique. Anyway, back to this fight. I love Angela Hill. I dubbed her Angela motherfucking Hill. I like her. She's funny. She's hot. She's exciting. She's a little getting older. I know. She's getting a little bit older, but she's still a legit threat in there on the stand-up. And Pinheiro has a judo background, maybe wants to make some stuff up, but I think her schedule is weak. She got knocked around by Hebos. I thought she lost to the Karate Hottie. I don't think she's going to have a lot of success taking Angela Hill down or holding Angela Hill down, who's getting so much better in that part of her game. Her cardio's through the roof. Angela's absolute nasty in the clinch, nasty at distance, everywhere. Her striking is great. She doesn't have the biggest power in the world, but the accumulation of punches is nasty. She'll cut you up. I would love a cut stoppage here. I like Angela Hill big. This almost made the slime ball parlay, but this is going to be a single wager for me. And by the way, I completely missed it, but Tom Nolan.
Send him home early.
Tom Nolan's my send him home, and Angela Hill can be my send him home too.
Send him home early.
She's going to cut this bitch up. She's going to just slice some elbows, man. Big on Angela Hill here. I really am. I think after breaking this down on Anik and Florian yesterday and thinking about it more today, I love where she's at in this spot. Luna Pinheiro, again, I think she's going to get better. She's younger. She has good striking herself, but it's a little too cutesy and pretty. Angela's going to make it ugly, right? She starts slow, so Luna, your best bet is to jump on Angela Hill early, hurt her, cut her, drop her, whatever, but Angela Hill gets stronger as the fight goes. So I like Angela Hill here by cut stoppage is what I'm predicting. All right, next up, you got Adrian Yanez. Minus 395 versus Vincius Salvador, plus 285. I like Salvador coming off the contenders. But he knocked out Shannon Ross, who's been knocked out. He's had 3 fights in the UFC, 4 if you count the contender series. He's been knocked out in all 4. So the guy's chin is just not there. And Yanez is coming off 2 finishes himself. Rafont made him look bad in the boxing, and Jonathan Martinez just chopped him down. Made it look like Yanez does not check kicks. He's taking time. He's with a good camp in Texas, but then he went down to Mexico and went with that Grasso team with Diego Lopez. He's getting killers. He looks to be lean, in good shape. Salvador coming up for 125. He's predicting a first-round KO, which everyone does. Should be a banger coming out. Should be a banger. I'm all in on Yanez.
He's a mortal lock, and I'm going to wheel him.
I'm going to wheel him. Slimed him up. Kenny, though. Kenny Florian, who just left the darkness retreat, taking ayahuasca, seeing visions, getting in tune with himself. He picked Yanez, but he flirted with Salvador. He actually placed a bet on Salvador. $100 wager on a great number. That scares me a little bit because he's been seeing the board hot right now, and I'm complete opposite. I like Yanez. I think his boxing's crisp. I think defensively he needs to obviously work on that, but Salvador I don't think has the biggest power. After Shannon Ross fight, he's throwing up some duds. Come up to 35 now. It's not like Yanez is the biggest 35er, but the power is going to be clear from Yanez's side. And Salvador doesn't kick a lot. He might start kicking this fight because obviously that was a glaring weakness the last time Yanez fight. But I'm assuming Yanez is training for that. And also, if you all of a sudden start becoming a leg kicker, right? You leave your head open. You gotta feint. You gotta put it behind something. If this dude's just out there throwing kicks, Yanez is good boxing, good counter boxing. Left hook's gonna sleep this dude. I like Yanez. The knockout is if by Yanez is not worth the money. It's in the minus monies right now. But yeah, give me Slime, give me Mortal. I'm going big on Yanez coming off a 2-fight losing streak. I just think he's too good. And another like MMA gambling brain of mine. I think he's fucking too good to lose 3 in a row. I just think he is. He was murdering everybody. He had a close fight with David Grant, but he was murdering everybody. And then he stumbles 2 times, bad losses, finishes. But I think he's too good to lose 3 in a row. I do. So I loaded up on him. That's the slime ball right there. Big bump bump. Yanez, Nolan, Magomedov plus 108. It's not great. It's not great. We got it. We barely got it over to the plus money, but we need a winner, boys. That's all I want is winner. Next up, Themba Gorimbo, minus 135 versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Brahimaj plus 124. So I looked long and hard at Brahimaj. I thought this dude could win by sub. I thought he could win by just ugly grappling, clinch fest. Went down the wrong pipe. Excuse me. But the more I looked at Gorimbo, he's got a great story. He has some real long range power. Coming off a knockout win, he's got confidence. If he has cardio, he will beat Brahimaj. If he has cardio, he'll beat Brahimaj because Brahimaj is going to clinch him, take him down, try to sub him. Might happen, but if he gets through that, then it's a wrap. Gorimbo's going to win. Gorimbo minus 148. It's a low number. I see people liking him, but again, it's hard for me to load up on him because I really do like Brahimaj in this fight as plus money. I'm taking Gorimbo. I don't know why. I just said I like Brahimaj. You know what? Fuck it. Huh? Switching the pick. I picked Gorimbo on the Annika Florian. I didn't bet him, but I'm going Brahimaj. Hasn't been in the UFC. Hasn't fought in a while. Ugly style, but I'm taking him. I hate picking against Gorimbo because he's got a great fucking story. But Christian always makes fun of me. Oh, is he a good guy in the gym? Is that why you pick? Fuck on. No. Go on Brahimaj. Underdog. And I'm going to put money on it. And what's Brahimaj by submission? I think he can get a submission if he wins. Decision or submission? Brahimaj by submission plus 180 each. By decision plus 800. That's my card. That's my fucking card. Why not? We're gambling, baby. Let's gamble. Huh? All right, co-main event, Chaos Williams minus 130 versus Carlston Harris, who is a plus 105. Underdog, money coming down on Carlston. I already placed this bet. I'm taking Harris in this fight. I love Chaos Williams. Chaos Williams is just a G, right? This dude his real name's not Chaos, but now it is. He legally changed his name to Chaos, I believe. From Michigan, hard hitter, hard worker, just ripped up. Take down the fence is still a question for me because, he hasn't really fought a super good grappler. Great chin, too. You can't hurt this guy in the feet. But his striking, I think, is just a little pushy. a little slow. He counters well, but it's just it's not there. He's been away for a little bit, so hopefully he's cleaning that up. And obviously fighting Harris, who's got great chokes on the ground, who has a decent top game. His bottom game's okay as well. But his wrestling is a little weak, but we'll see if he can get Chaos down as well. I like Harris. I already placed a bet. I got it at plus 110. I beat the line. That's what the sharps always talk about, beating the line. But I internally, right, I'm rooting for Chaos Williams because this dude, I think, can be electric, right? Like, he's good on the mic. He's got a good look. Like, he's almost like Bobby Green-esque, but like a Midwest Bobby Green, you know what I mean? Just a fucking dude that likes to scrap, doesn't give a fuck, right? His name's Chaos Williams. And Bobby Green's name's King Green now, right? I mean, unreal. Give me Harris, so I just suck Chaos Williams' dick for 5 minutes and I pick against him. I'm not going to switch picks there. Kenny is on Chaos. I am on Harris because I already placed the bet. I don't want to go against myself. Fuck off. Next up, Edson Barboza. Plus 130 versus Lerone Murphy. Minus 155. Good fight. Don't love it as a main event, if I'm being honest with you. Barboza, it's been in there with everybody. This could be an exciting fight. Both strikers. I know Murphy has mixed in some takedowns in his past couple performances, but I don't see that being the case here. I see him striking. And every time Barboza fights another striker, he looks pretty good. Minus the Giga fight. I mean, there's no history to prove that. I just keep going back to the Dan Hooker fight when Dan Hooker called out Edson and just got cooked, right? Lerone Murphy's only had 14 professional fights. He came in the UFC at 8 fights. Kind of came out of nowhere, too. Didn't come from Cage Warriors. Excuse me. Yeah, Cage Warriors. Just came out of nowhere. What is going on in my throat? Podcast juice to save the day. You know, and Edson, like, we can't even compare resumes. Who Edson's been in there with. He knocked out Billy Q round 1. Outstruck Sadiq Yusuf, which is a very, very fun fight. High volume, high level fight. You know, he got drowned by Bryce Mitchell. Giga knocked him out. Knocked out Shane Burgos in a fight where he proved that his boxing was pretty tight. Decision to Amir Khani. Should have beat Dan Ige. These are his last few fights. The Dan Ige fight, I thought he won. Should have beat Paul Felder. And then obviously got left hooked his ass out by Justin Gaethje. Before that was Dan Hooker. He cooked Dan Hooker to the body. Lerone Murphy has some decent performances, but there's not enough volume. He's still pretty young in the game. I think he's very good. I don't know how big his power is. I think if I had to give a power advantage, it would be Murphy. But does he have that one-touch death power with his hands? Because I think Edson Barboza is going to be kicking his legs, kicking his body, kicking his head. He's going to mix everything up. And Lerone Murphy fought Gabriel Santos, where he hit Santos, who's a very good prospect. Santos didn't go down. I mean, he's got 2 knockouts in the UFC, Ricardo Ramos, and Amir Khani just basically jumped into a knee. Besides that, he's fought some Brazilian dudes, and it took him split decision win over Santos. Culibao is his biggest win. Joshua Culibao is a tough guy to look good against, but he didn't throw a ton of volume against Culibao. You're going to have to match Barboza's volume, or you're going to have to stay back, get kicked the fuck up, and land a counter shot and hopefully put Barboza out, who's a little bit older, who's been knocked out before. 5-round main event is a lot of pressure on Lerone Murphy. It's in the Apex, so it's not as much pressure if it was actually somewhere else. But I like Barboza here at the dog money here.
Hello? Okay, this is dog.
Okay, this is dog. I like the dog money. It's my dog lock. I like Barboza. I don't know. I have TKO decision written down here. I can see Barboza just chipping away, late body, leg work. And you know, I mean, fuck, you see Lerone Murphy's body, though. That dude's shredded, so I don't know if that's going to work. But possibly a decision here, and hopefully Barboza gets on the right side of a decision. He was on the wrong side of the Paul Felder one. He was on the wrong side of the Dan Ige win, if you ask me. Hopefully he gets on the right one here. But, you know, Barboza's age is something that gets talked about, is going to get talked about a lot this week. And other cappers probably already touched it. I'm not super scared yet. This is a big prove-it fight for Lerone Murphy. How good truly is he? We'll find out. I'm a fan of his, but this might be a little too much. Main event against Barboza, but it is a good matchup for him. But again, give me the dog. Give me Barboza. That's it. So I already gave you the slime ball. I'll redo the slime ball. Adrian Yanez, Tom Nolan, Abus Magomedov, plus 108. I know, don't judge me. Don't fucking judge me. Don't laugh at me. Dog lock, Edson Barboza. Send him home, Tom Nolan. Mortal lock, Adrian Yanez. Those are the locks. Give me Carnelossi plus 3.5, minus 140 for the Green Hammer. That's it, baby. That's a show. Next week, here's what I'm going to announce. You've heard me announce this before. There's a lot of empty promises I do on this podcast, and I'm embarrassed by it. But next week, we're off. I don't think I'm doing the Anakin Florian next week. And it's my daughter's last week of school, right? So I'm going to have time. Wednesday Takes. Wednesday fucking Takes is coming back. There is so much to talk about. I don't ever really make show notes or anything. I just kind of go off my brain and whatever's, the page here. In my notes folder here on the computer, I have notes from weeks and weeks and weeks of Wednesday Takes topics to talk about. I will have to obviously trim those down and add more because Bilal Muhammad just got announced to fight Leon Edwards in fucking Liverpool. Where are they fighting? England. Somewhere in England, goddammit. Patty fighting Bobby Green. Listen, a lot to fucking talk about. Wednesday Takes next week, Wednesday the 22nd. What is it? I'm saying it right now. I'm going to hold myself to it. I don't care if I have no voice. I don't care if my daughter scratches all her corneas. That's a mean thing to say. Wednesday the 22nd, Wednesday Takes will be out in full effect. It's been months. No fights, no picks, just me talking about stuff. Wednesday Takes actually gets very little views. People rather me just give my picks. But goddamn, we're doing it because it's fun. All right, that's it. That's the show. Follow me on all social media. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. Now I'm trying to find the button so I can go home.